Hello, everyone. This is Warriors Ignite LIVECAST. I am currently live on 3 different platforms: YouTube, Twitter, my Facebook page, Warrior Women Leaders. And today's topic is vision versus adversity, which is a very timely time for this particular topic because 2024 is right around the corner. And we're talking about vision here. Hopefully you guys have all started to think about what your plan is for next year, what your vision is for next year. And I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions. I'm talking about, it's not resolutions, it's lifestyle. So to have a vision, to have a plan actually takes lifestyle, not just something that ends in the first 30 days, 60 days of the year, because you're not committed to it. A vision is something that you're committed to. So let me just jump right in here, and feel free to put any comments here in the chat. You can feel free to chat while I'm talking to you guys. So Habakkuk 2:2-3. I want to read this to you guys. And I'm sure you've heard it before, but the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and engrave it plainly on tablets so that the one who reads it will be able to run. For the vision is yet for the appointed future time. It hurries toward the goal of fulfillment. It will not fail, even though it delays. Wait patiently for it. So there's several key things in that verse, and I want to go over that with you guys that will help you with your vision for 2024. So the very first thing is you have to write it down. You know, we just don't do that a lot of times. We just have it in our heads and we think, well, that's all I need. I don't need to write it down. You need to write it down. You need to put it on paper. You need to be specific about it. You need to be clear about it. You have to have made the plan. You have to have that vision. And this is something that should get you out of bed in the morning. It should motivate you. It should pull you. It should give you energy. And that is one of the purposes. One of the reasons people are depressed is because they have no vision. They have no plan, nothing that gets them out of bed in the morning. And this is definitely what your vision should do. It should get you out of bed in the morning. Secondly, you have to read it. You have to review it. You have to keep it in front of your face. And as you go throughout the year, you're revising it, you're improving it. You can have like a vision board or a vision book, but something that's always you're reviewing, revising, keeping in front of you, so that you next have a target. If you have nothing in front of you, no plan, no written plan, no goals to get to that written vision, that written plan, then you have no target. So this is your way to have something that you can shoot for, point towards, that keeps you running, as Habakkuk 2 says. And then finally, it says, even though it delays, wait patiently for it because it will come. So this is the adversity part. And there's several things that cause adversity. One is your inexperience. Simple as that. Okay. We cause our own adversity because we are not experienced. So, and this is fine. We learn by the doing. You know, God does not necessarily call qualified. He qualifies you in the process, in the doing, in the learning. So as you're going, you're going to make mistakes. You know, and then there's going to be the natural consequences of that causing you adversity, but that's just part of the process. So there's going to be that natural adversity of our inexperience in the learning process and the growth process. Secondly, if it's a worthwhile vision, if it's a God vision, well, then you're going to experience warfare. And that's just the way it's going to be. Satan does not want you to succeed. Satan doesn't want you to do God's vision, to do his work. And so he's going to throw all kinds of things at you. He's going to lie to you. He's going to make it impossible. He's going to make it look like you can never succeed. And he's going to tell you that you're never going to succeed, which is all lies. And you have to understand that comes with a God vision, because Satan doesn't want you, is trying to stop you dead in your tracks. And you have to realize that this is all part of a God vision. I was listening to Joyce Myers, and one of the things that she said is she had, and I'm going to slaughter this because it's been a long time ago since I heard her say this, but she talked to this woman more than once, and this woman complaining to her about her adversity. And basically saying that there was like a bus parked on top of her. And Joyce Myers was either thinking, I don't remember if she thought it or she said it to her. I guess that she was more thinking it in her head. You know, we all go through adversity, but you have to not let the bus stay on top of you. You've got to get up and you got to drive the bus. You know, you cannot stay down. You may need some healing process through that. You may need to have a grieving process, but you cannot stay down. You got to get up, change your perspective, and take control of that. You need to drive the bus. So I love this verse in Hebrews 12 through 13. And it says, therefore, lift your drooping hands and strengthen your weak knees and make straight paths for your feet, so that what is lame or broken won't stay that way, but rather be healed. So that is telling you that if you just stay down, that causes more damage to you. That causes more harm to you. That causes more brokenness and more pain, instead of you getting up and doing something about it, taking control, driving the bus, so to speak. So something to think about. You have to change your perspective. Don't stay down. Get up and take control. The third part of adversity is it is a refining process. If it's a God plan, if it's a God vision for your life, it is not going to be some small thing. It is going to be a God thing. And he has to create you into the person who can handle this God thing that he has for you. So this is going to be a refining adversity that is growing you, that is increasing you, that is building your character so that you can handle what it is that he actually has for you. Because if he were to give it to you, it just falls into your lap, then you have not become the person yet who can handle it, and you will fail. And so God has to make you that person first. Part of the reason for that adversity, again, so it requires a perspective change so that you can get to that next level. So one of my favorite stories about this is in the Bible, and that would be Joseph. And he was given this God vision, and he shared it with his brothers. One of those visions is that his brothers were going to bow to him. Well, they didn't like that so much. They were jealous of him already. He was the, preferred child, and they didn't much like him for that. And so that's one thing to think about in this story. This story is just full of gold nuggets. He shared the vision, and in sharing the vision, that can cause adversity, because the people you're sharing the vision with do not like it. They don't want your growth. They don't want you to shine. They don't want you to succeed. So sometimes maybe we should just keep the vision to ourselves. There would be less adversity. And because of this, what did his brothers do? They sold Joseph into slavery. First of all, they threw him into a pit. Then he was sold into slavery. He was purchased, which is a good thing, by Potiphar into his household, and he's shown there. So here's one of the things. No matter if you're in adversity or not, you we need to learn to perform with mastery, with excellency, so that we're growing, we're improving. And this is what Joseph did in Potiphar's household. He came there as a lowly slave until he was in charge of everything, because he performed with excellency. He performed with mastery. Only thing that was not available to him was wifey. But wifey very much wanted to make herself available to Joseph. Wifey is another part of the story here. Wifey is another part of the adversity. She was a shiny bauble that was out here to take him off of the path, to get him out of God's plan. Imagine what would happen if he had fallen for the shiny bauble. He may not have had the outcome that he actually had. It may have taken him out of God's plan for him. And this is what Satan's trying to do to us all the time, trying to get us out of God's plan for us, with the shiny baubles, with the other opportunities that come along that look like they might be a good thing, but they're the wrong thing. It's shutting the door to God's plan. So we always need to stay focused, to stay in what we, to keep our eyes on the Lord, to keep in communication with him, so that we stay on the right track and we do not get sidetracked by these shiny baubles, these wifeys that get thrown in our paths. So because of that, he turned her down. She framed him, lied about it, and he got thrown into prison. So now he's in prison, and he shines there as well. He excels in prison. Shows mastery in prison, and he interprets dreams for the butler and the baker, one not so good and one good, and says to the one who went back into the Pharaoh's household, tell Pharaoh about me. Tell him about me. And so the guy says he will. He doesn't. So Joseph spends even more time in prison, until Pharaoh himself has a dream that needs to be interpreted. And at that point in time is when he finally becomes second in command in all of Egypt. And this is, I did a little bit of research. It looks like this is about a 13-year period from vision to fulfillment, and adversity, growth, excelling along the way, and not letting the shiny baubles pull him out of God's plan for him. And this may very well be what our path is going to look like. All of these obstacles thrown in our way. Cannot see the end from the beginning, but we know that God gave us a vision. We know that God gave us a plan. So we just keep our eyes on that, and we just keep on going, and we're serving him. We're not serving man, and we just need to remember that. So what if you feel like you have no purpose? You have no plan? Well, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says in Ephesians 2:10 that we are God's masterpieces. We are his artwork. He created us anew in Christ Jesus so that we could do the good things, the purpose he planned for us long ago. So before he even placed us here, he has had a purpose for us all along. And so how do we find out what that is? Well, one of the things that you should do is you should be always, have a meeting. Let's have a meeting, God. Get down with him and say, what is your plan for me? What is your purpose for me? Because he has one. You have to spend time with him, build that relationship. He's got a purpose for you. He's got a vision for you. And if you seek him, he'll start to open those doors for you as you put your foot in the water. Also, a lot of times what that is, if you don't know what your purpose is, a lot of times it's in the places that you have overcome in. The adversity that you've gone through and that you've overcome is a perfect mission field for you, because you have come through that and you know how to do that now. And so now you can help others through the things that you've gone through. You become the solution. That's always the purpose that is most attractive to others, is when you're solving a problem, when you have the solutions. So what's in your hand? Everybody has something, and it's where you start. And as you move, God will direct you, but you have to move so that he can instruct you and direct you. Another thing that I like to do is every year, and it helps to guide you throughout the year, is before the new year, come before God and ask him if he has a word for you for the year. He actually already gave me mine. I wasn't even looking for it. At the very end of September, he gave me my word for 2024. So it's, and that word serves to give you a target, to help a certain way to go throughout the year, how you're going to walk through your year. That word helps you to complete your year. So you might try doing that as well. And just remember that the more you grow, adversity is always going to be part of it. I hate to say it, but it's almost a necessity, because it helps to grow you. It helps you to become more. It helps you to come to that next level. Just learn to steer your own boat, to drive your bus, to take control of that, and you'll get through it much faster. You'll get to that level much faster. Don't become a victim. Get up off of your knees and go. Take the vision and run with it. That's what God is asking you to do. He needs his leaders who are going to take his vision and run. So I'm hoping that each one of you are doing that, are going to sitting down, making that plan so that you can run for 2024. Also, before I sign off here, January 1st, I have a masterclass coming up called A Firm Foundation, which I'm very excited about, for warrior women. That is going to be, I was going to charge for that. I've changed my mind. So this is a free masterclass. And so that we can be all together, connected as women, we can learn how to have a firm foundation, a firm footing for 2024, so that we can withstand the battle and we can learn to lead with wisdom. And that's going to be starting January 1st. And that's going to go for 16 weeks long. You can find that. You can find it at my website. But also, if you want to have automated reminders, you can go to facebook.com/Warrior Women Leaders, and that will be under the events tab. And so you can click interested or going on that, and it will then send you the automated reminders along with the Zoom link. So I look forward to seeing you all there at the Masterclass, A Firm Foundation, and I will see you guys again next week. You guys have an awesome Wednesday.